is precious. I think we would all agree, but often we find that we are take the very things that we do every day in life for granted until something happens in a blink of an eye. Hello, I'm Tom Russo, and this is In a Blink of an Eye, where we discuss stories from ordinary people whose lives are changed in an instant and how they overcome through faith, courage, and determination. Join me on this podcast for uplifting stories of how people face various challenges to learn not to only survive, but to thrive. In a Blink of an Eye is sponsored by Marketplace.live. Find what you need and get what you want at Marketplace.live. That's Marketplace.live. Now, today I am honored. We are joined today with Mike Benoit. Mike, thank you for joining the program.
Thank you, Tommy. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
I am really excited to have Mike here. I gotta brag on him a little bit. I have been friends through my dad with Mike for many years. Mike, among many talents, is a professional bowler, which I think I've shared with the audience that my dad is also in the PBA, and my dad bowls with Mike not only in a league but sometimes in tournaments and things like that around the Houston and Texas area, and he is a fantastic bowler, even though he bowls from the wrong side. He's a lefty, but he does that stuff. But Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you're from, where you grew up, your family, all that good stuff.
Well, Tommy, I grew up in a little town called Nederland, Texas. It's in what we call the Golden Triangle. It's
Oh
where
yeah.
on the southeast side of Texas, where Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Orange kind of form a little triangle. Nederland happens to be in the hub of it. That's where I grew up. It's a small blue collar area, industrialized. A lot of small town traits. But there's, some amenities there. So we all grew up knowing one another. Uh, it was just a real fun place to grow up.
And you were a multi-sport superstar, from what I understand. Mm.
I tell people I used to be fairly athletic. Now I'm more of an athletic supporter. But anyway,
Well,
no, yeah,
I'll tell you, one of Mike's wonderful traits is his humility. He's a very humble man, but he is exceptionally talented. He's one of those people that everything he touches, he just seems to be really, really good at.
yeah.
So from Nederland, tell me your story from there.
Yeah, so I grew up there, went to college there, a little college called Lamar.
Mm.
My original plan was to go to college and get an associate degree. And after 2 years, my plan was to marry my little high school sweetheart, right? Yeah. Well, she was still in school at the time. I went and got the associate degree. I told my dad, "Okay, Dad, I did my part, and but now I'm going to get into the workforce, right?"
Right.
He said, "So you're leaving school, right?" "Yes, sir." He said, "Well," he said, "Tell you what, let me see if I can help you." Uh, my dad was a smart man. Never got past sixth grade, but pretty smart man. He worked in the oil field. He got me a job at the Texaco refinery, and I thought, "Oh man, I am set." Well, the thing is, he wasn't really with the Texaco refinery, Tommy. He set me up with the longshoremen.
Ah,
The longshoremen do some awfully rough jobs.
longshoreman things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so my dad made sure that I was on the crew that cleaned the tanks. Now, if you're not familiar with that job, as the tankers come in, they had sludge, crude, wax in those tanks, and somebody's got to go down in those hulls with mops and buckets and scrapers and
That's where
clean
you learned your humility, right?
that. I was in that. It's interesting because the crew I was with, once you left the job, you had to throw away the clothes. They were ruined. I did that for about 6 months, and I thought, "You know what? Maybe it's better if I go back to school." I mentioned that to my dad, and he said, "Well, that may be a good idea, son. Good choice." So he knew what
Like,
he was doing.
dads are wise like that, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Don't tell
He
my dad I said that, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, that's it. So anyway, I got a job. My first job was, offshore, with a drilling rig, with Unical. I did that for about a year. They stack the rig, which means they send it into dry dock for repair. So they sent me home, and Tommy, I was there at the house for 1 month drawing a check, and I haven't got out of the house. And I thought, my God, if they don't need me to do anything for this, this is not a too secure a job. So
Right.
I changed jobs, went with Gulf, worked with Gulf until they sold out to Chevron. And then Chevron, I was with them for a little while, and they sold that refinery in Port Arthur to Clark Oil. And basically, I was very fortunate. They came to me and about 20 others and said, "Hey, Mike, we like the work you're doing, but if you want to stay with Chevron, you got to find another job." So I spent the next 6, 7 months in various locations around the world, just trying to find a place that I thought I could work. I ended up deciding on Baytown, Texas, at a chemical plant, and I thought, "Oh my God, my career is in the toilet. This is not good. This is not what I want to be." And but you know what? Uh, I found, Tommy, that God puts you in places where you need to be. That's exactly where I found Marcy, my wife, my wife for 30 years. And had I not gone through that and ended up going to Baytown, I would not have met her, and we would not have been together. We would not have had 2 beautiful girls, and,
Oh,
yeah,
that's wonderful.
yeah,
And God does work in wonderful ways like that. He puts things and people in your path for a reason, and that's a beautiful, beautiful story. And Marcy is a world class athlete in her own right too. So
no doubt.
I know that, and I'm speaking from experience. Also, I've had my butt whipped by Mike on the bowling alley many times. I think we actually bowled together on a team in a league, if I remember correctly, for a while. And I think in 60 games that I bowled with him, I might have beat him one game, but I might be dreaming that too. I don't know. But
Well, that's okay.
anyway, so you're with the oil and gas
Right.
and company chemical companies. You're a safety coordinator, safety supervisor.
Yeah.
Um, so you've got a great career going. Where did the bowling come into play?
Well, that there again, God puts people in your way. I had my cousin actually called me up one day. Tommy, he said, "Mike, I need you want to go bowling?" Well, sure, I'd like to go bowling. What day? He said, "No, no, 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 no." He said, I need you to bowl on a team, on a league." I said, "I didn't even know there was leagues or teams." He says,
Right.
"Yeah, yeah, yeah." He said, Here's the catch." He said, "If I can put a whole team together," he said, "then the secretary is gonna allow me to bowl with this girl I wanna date." He said, "But"
Ulterior motives.
That's right, that's right. He said, "But if I can't get a whole team," he said, "then they're gonna split us up, in individual teams across the league." So I said, okay, I'll be your wingman." So anyway, so I started bowling with them. Now, as an aside note, Tommy, they actually got married, and I'm actually bowling with their son now. So yeah, so that was a good ending to that
That's
story.
a great thing with
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
and from there, you just got so successful. You actually joined the PBA and
Well,
became a
I
professional
did
bowler.
again. There again, God puts people in your way. I was practicing, and I had a guy that was kind of teaching me a little bit, and so I went to the desk and I asked the guy. I said, "Hey, does anybody coach bowling?" I said, "Yeah, sure. You might try those guys that are sitting over there on that lane." Well, Tommy, it was 3 young guys my age, and I said, "Oh boy, this is great. Guys my age." So I go over and I talk to the first guy, and I said, "Hey guys," I said, "the guy at the desk said you guys might be able to teach me how to bowl." And the guy looked at me. He said, "Well, what are you trying to do?" And I thought, well, that's kind of an odd question. I'm trying to bowl better. I'm trying to get more strikes, you know? He said, well, yeah. He said, I understand. He said, but what are you working on? Same answer. I'm trying to strike more. I'm trying to, he said, well, he said, no, 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 no. He said, do you have a coach? I said, oh, yeah, yeah. That's what he's asking. Yeah, I got a coach. He said, well, okay, what is he teaching you? And good, he's asking me the same thing. What, you know, what is he looking for? And he said, well, who is your coach? And I was proud to tell him the guy's name. You know, he was good. And he looked at me when I said the name. He turned to his buddies and he said, I don't think I know him. Do you guys know him? And none of the guys acknowledged that they knew him either. And I thought, well, he's not your coach. He's my coach. What does it matter what you know him or not, right?
Yeah.
And he said, well, he said, wait. He said, let me ask you this. He said, what is my coach average? And I knew that answer. I said, well, that's 186. Tommy, he told me something I'll never forget. He said, well, then he can only teach you how to bowl a 186 average.
That's
Oh,
that kind of is eye opening in and of itself,
yeah,
isn't it?
yes, sir, yes, sir. Now those guys, I don't know if you remember that. Like I said, this has been a long time ago, but the guy I was talking to was Mark Williams. Mark
Okay, I
Williams,
recognize that
yeah,
name.
yeah. Mark Williams is a five-time PBA Tournament of Champions winner and a PBA Hall of Famer.
And I'd be willing to bet his average is a little better than 186.
Oh, his average is much better. The other guy sitting at the settee area was a guy named David Ozio. David
Okay.
David is a multiple tournament winner and a PBA Hall of Famer. Matter of fact, he was up for Bowler of the Decade in the '80s. And then
Wow.
the other guy was Wayne Webb. Wayne
Oh,
Webb
I know
is a
that name too.
PBA Hall of Famer, and at that time, well, not at that time, but he grew to be number 3 on the money list
So you were in the right place at the right
at the
time, and
right
that's
time.
certainly a God thing. So
Yes, sir.
you have a PBA career, you have your safety career,
Right.
you're happily married, you got great kids,
Yeah.
things are rocking along.
We are doing
You
great.
you work all the way to retirement, but
Right.
I understand, Mike, that a couple of things happened in your life that were kind of troubling, and I can remember being, my dad calling me and letting me know what was going on, and I know we were praying for you. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that happened.
Tommy, this was in 2019. That's whenever the scare of the COVID pandemic was, touching everybody in some way. And Marcy and I were very careful. We thought we were. We did do some social things. And so after one of these little social things, there was 3 couples at this little gathering. Now they had all previously had little minor bouts of the COVID, but it had been a month since they had had these bouts. We got home and like 2 days later, and I'm feeling bad and I'm congested and it's just getting worse. Marcy, thank God, in her career, she was a respiratory therapist. So
Okay.
she understood the symptoms of, me getting more congested. She had equipment that was able to test my blood oxygen level. And whenever my blood oxygen level got down in the 60s, she said, this
Oh
this is
Lord.
this is yeah, this is nothing that I can treat. We need to get you to the hospital. And I went. She got the ambulance, and I went to the hospital. Tommy. Now here's the crazy thing about that pandemic. I was in the hospital for 62 days. 39 of
Wow.
those days, I was in ICU. Uh, at the height of it, my lungs were 95% full of fluid, and
Were
the
you on
5%
were you intubated?
intubated. Yes, sir.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. And
And just that in of itself, I know my wife being a medical professional, she said during that same time period, man, the people that get intubated, their life
very few.
expectancy is
Right.
very, very low.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No,
yeah, that's
you,
that's a tough thing.
oh, you're right.
62 days.
It's crazy. Let's say 39 days in ICU. 5% of my lungs were, exposed to air. The only problem was the alveoli in that part of my lungs, they were all scarred.
Wow.
So Tommy, during that time, 95% of my air was coming from forced breathing. Um,
And you're just lying there.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you're having a hard time breathing. You're obviously not feeling good. What's
yeah.
going through your mind? I mean,
Yeah,
is it despair? Is it why me?
it's
What
a
is going through your mind?
it's a crazy thing. Of course, they're constantly monitoring you, and at that time, the thought was isolation, right? So
Right.
nobody comes in. If they do come in, they're all tied backed up. They got a full face shield. They've got booties on. They've got gloves on. Tommy, it's funny. It's funny now. I go back and laugh at it. It wasn't funny then, but be waking up in the middle of the night and here's a nurse sitting over you in this full mask and things. And it's like, Mr.
It's
Benoit, time for your meds. Ah! It's just like you're
it's
being
it's
treated by
almost
Darth.
spooky, isn't it? It's
Yeah, yeah,
almost spooky.
it is. It's like you're
Uh,
being treated by Darth Vader or something.
yeah,
It was
and I
crazy.
guess I can't even imagine because my struggle with my eye was just my eye, and that was life changing in and of itself. But that was life threatening. That was
Threatening.
life
Yes, sir.
threatening,
Yes,
and I can't imagine the things that go through your mind, good, bad, and indifferent. I'm sure
right.
your life flashes before your eyes. You miss your family. You think about things you wish you would have done or could have done or whatever. I'm putting words in your mouth, but I'm
No, no, no.
sure
Yeah,
all of those things come to mind.
all those come to mind. For me, Tommy, during that time, I'll tell you the turning point. So again, you're isolated. I had like very I could. The thing is, I could talk to Marcy if I used the phone. I just couldn't speak for more than one or two words because I would lose my breath. I mean, it was
Right.
like I was drowning. It's like
Right.
it's continually drowning, and that's only after
That's
I was
horrible.
awake and conscious, right?
Yeah.
And then you got this thing in your mouth, and so sound like you.
Yeah.
Anyway, the
I can't even imagine.
the thing that turned it around for me, Tommy, again, you're in a room, you're alone, you got a lot of time to spend quiet time,
Yeah.
and you're faced with your mortality, right? And,
Absolutely.
have I done enough to take care of the family? Have I got this in place? Have I got that in place? At that time, I'd been retired about 3 years, and,
Right.
so that was all in place. But yeah, the girls weren't married yet. So it's all kinds of worry and things. The thing that turned it around, Tommy, is Marcy was able to get permission from the nurse to let me have my cell phone. Now,
Good.
when I started having my cell phone started going through it just to spend time, right? The thing that turned it around is whenever I started reading, it was on Facebook, the social media thing. And when I started reading about all of the people that were going online, taking the time to to wish me, recovery, prayers,
Oh
and
yeah.
to know that my name was being lifted up on the altar of God. And, and
God, that's
I
so powerful, Mike.
oh, I tell you, and
It's
it's
the Holy Spirit filling you.
oh,
It
yeah.
really is.
It touches me even now. It did. It put a fire in me that, by God, my name is being lifted up, and at that point, I think the answer to the prayer is yes, I am gonna be clever. And
Yeah.
it just gave me a renewed
Well,
spirit.
and that's so amazing because I think all of us were touched by someone who actually passed during
Yes,
COVID.
yes,
And I know I've known several people that died during the COVID era, and it was a horrible, horrible time.
yeah.
And I'm certain that went through your mind that
Oh,
that was around.
sir.
So to see that and to feel that spirit and with that faith, that had to be so strong. And in comparison, and I'm not comparing it to a near death experience, but with my eye, I went through the same thing. I was depressed and frustrated, and I put my story out there on Facebook, and some people don't like that. I like to share what's going on in my life, and I got so many wonderful comments and
Yeah,
so many prayers and thoughts, and I think that turned me around too. So I definitely share that with you.
Right. It's
So
amazing.
it is.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Whenever I got out of the hospital, if the 62nd day, I was able to go home. I was tethered to an air tank, right? Now here's another thing. I'm tethered to an air tank. Of course, it's limited air supply, but I do have a breathing machine, right?
Right.
Well, that's whenever the big storm came through and all the power was out for 4 days. So now my
Oh
breathing
no.
machine is out. I'm running out of bottles of air. Oh, no.
Oh no.
I was here at the house. I had to have a chair every about 5 feet because that's as far as I could walk without
Oh
getting
my
winded.
lord.
I mean, it was crazy. Anyway,
So so so
here's the
so you
prepare.
get back from that
Yeah. Well,
you nurse yourself back to health,
yeah,
and I'm
well, wait.
sure RC was a big part of
Let
that.
me give you this. Let me give you this because this, recovering from the COVID was miracle enough. But let me give you this. I had a phone interview with the pulmonologist that was going to be my post stay.
Right.
I'm on the phone with him, and he says, "Mike," he said, "I'm going to be honest with you." He said, "Looking at your X-rays," he said, "you've got severe scarring. You've still got about 40% liquid in your lungs." He said, I can anticipate you're going to have severe pulmonary problems up to and including possible lung transplants.
Oh my.
Oh God, this is horrible. Marcy, Marcy got the phone. Now this is not even a video interview. This is just a telephone. And she said, "Doctor," she said, "you don't know my husband." And she said, "We're going to get a second opinion." And she hung the phone up. And sure enough, she ended up getting a hold of the pulmonary specialist in Houston, right?
Right, right,
2 weeks later, now mind you, during this whole time, I'm trying to walk, I'm trying to do my breathing exercise, I'm trying to do stuff. I have an interview with him, up a video uh, interview with him, and he said, "Well, Mike, tell me about your experience." And so I talked to him for about 30 minutes, like I'm talking to you.
right,
And at the end of it, he says, "Mike," he says, "there's no way that the x-ray that I'm looking at is your condition now." He said, "Let's do another follow-up x-ray. Let's see what it looks like now, and then we can make a decision." So that was on a Thursday. Monday, I had the x-ray. Uh, we go back Thursday, and he calls me again. Now, Tommy, talk about God working. He said, "Mike," he said, "it's unbelievable." He says, "From this x-ray that I saw preliminarily to the x-ray I see now," he said, "Mike, you got the healthiest 65-year-old lungs I've seen."
praise God. I mean,
Praise God.
that's amazing. That is
Unbelievable.
amazing. Going from
Unbelievable.
60% oxygen saturation
Right.
to healthiest lungs that you've seen in an individual your age, that's unreal.
It's unreal. No scarring, no evidence of scarring, no fluid. It was
Oh, praise God.
here's the thing, all the prayers were answered yes. That that's
That's so
that's
cool.
that's that's a
And
powerful.
and and about how long of a time period was it before you really got back to normal life for
Oh,
you?
it took a good 4 months before I got my strength
Okay.
back.
So about 4 months later, you start bowling, you get into axe throwing
We got into axe throwing
and
accidentally.
knife throwing. Do you do knife throwing too?
Axe
Knife
throwing,
throwing, axe
yeah,
throwing.
yeah.
Your wife is actually a world champion or something, isn't she?
Right now today, Tommy, my wife, for the years that she was throwing the knife, she's kinda retired a little bit now, but while she was throwing, she was the top-ranked female in the world at knife
Oh my
throwing.
gosh. I mean,
Yeah. You know,
like I
pe
said, folks, this man and his wife are
Yeah.
salt of the earth people, and they are amazing athletes.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
And you started bowling again,
Yeah, I started bowling again.
and beating people again, and
Yeah.
doing your thing from the
Doing
left
my
side.
thing.
You know,
I'm doing good. Life is great, and I'm starting to notice that occasionally, I'll have capillaries
right?
rupture in my eye, and
Yeah, I
that
had some
happens.
problems like that too.
And when that happens, it's like that film of blood just covers your eye, and you can't see for a moment or two. And,
Right,
I said, "Oh gosh, now I've got something else going on." Well, it's my fault. I didn't take care of myself diabetically,
right.
and so I go to the doctor. Well, what ends up happening is the diagnosis was now I've got to get shots in my eye to
Uh,
yeah, that
My
you know
my audience knows my struggle with that, and I remember when you were going through that, Mike.
oh, it
I was telling myself I could never do that, and guess what, brother? I've
guess
had to
what?
do it now.
Yeah, guess what? I know. You know, you spend your whole
But
life
you've actually had to do it like almost every week or something, didn't you?
it was weekly for a little while,
For
yeah.
how long?
For about 2 months,
Oh my gosh!
and then once that, you know, started taking effect, what it was doing, I don't know technical terms, but it was like because my eyes were rupturing that, the eye was trying to repair itself, and so it was growing renegade capillaries through my
Right,
eye, and so it was like
right,
thatching, like lattice work
right.
across my lid. I couldn't see, and
And
so
I have what's called a pupillary membrane that has grown across my
went over.
cornea because of all the scarring that happened with the fungal infection that I had. So I can empathize completely, and I still don't have any eyesight, but you did regain your eyesight through all of this work.
I did.
Did you have surgery as well?
3 surgeries. 3
3
s 3
surgeries.
surg
I've only had 2. See, you beat me at that too. I tell you.
Yeah, so 3 the last surgery was actually to the with all the surgery, it ended up revealing, cataracts.
Okay.
And so my one eye, my good eye was 20/60, and then my right eye was like 2100. Tommy, I was having trouble reading the E on on the eye chart, you know? Yeah.
Brother, I've got 2950 vision,
So there
so
you go. So yeah,
I
yeah.
can't see the wall.
You can
All right, I can't see the wall with either eye. Okay,
either
my
eye.
left
Yeah.
eye I can't see anything, and my right eye I've got 2950. So I have to wear glasses now, and I'm used. You know, you've only known me wearing contacts for
Right.
your the whole time we've known. This is probably the first time you've ever seen me in glasses.
It
So
is. It
and
is.
I've got the 21st century pirate thing
There
going.
you
So
go. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
That's it.
you know, it's amazing. And going through that eye problem, I'm sure you went back through that roller coaster of why me,
It
the
is.
depression,
Well, and for me, Tommy, with as active as I try to be, you know, between golf and pickleball and throwing axes and bowling, it was really, really debilitating my ability to do those things.
right.
You know, it was I could sense that it was gonna be a real change in lifestyle, and I wasn't ready for that just yet. Like I say, that prompted me to accept the shots in the eye, you know, whatever it took to get this right. And thank God the doctors are being great with me. They're, you know, the nurses are putting up with me because I'm such a baby. I mean, I can't even
Oh,
hardly
don't
walk.
even go there with me. I'm the biggest. You
Yeah.
probably heard me screaming in Houston from
Oh,
College Station on my shots.
yeah. Yeah. You like I say, it was about the second month before I quit kicking the nurses and hitting the doctor. So, you know, yeah. So
It was so painful. I can't
yeah,
even imagine doing that every week.
yeah.
When the doctor first told me after my second surgery that they thought I was going to have weekly injections, I was about to lose it. I really
I
did.
know. It just
And like you, God intervened, and although I can't see, the doctors claim that my eye is healthy now.
yeah,
So
good.
hopefully in 2026, we might have some surgery for me that maybe can repair and I can get some sight back. But that's enough about me. Uh, so you go through this, and how long did it take you to recover from that?
Yeah, that took about 4 months, about 4 months.
So you've lost between the two things essentially a year,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
basically,
yeah, yeah, easy.
essentially a year, and now you're back. You're bowling, you're axe throwing, you're knife throwing, you're pickleballing, you're doing all your active things.
God is good.
Your kids are grown up.
Kids are
Um,
grown. Hey, Tommy, you know, another kind of side blessing. I was so afraid they were gonna meet somebody like me, and thank God they didn't. The 2 my 2 son-in-laws are just at
you,
salt of the earth. It's amazing.
if they're anything like you would have gotten a major blessing. I'll tell
Well,
you what.
yeah, but it
You are an amazing person, and just a true testament to what faith and family and friends can do for you. And Mike, I'm so thrilled to see you up and about and going. And my dad loves bowling with you and loves having you as a friend, and I do too. I don't get out there, and I haven't bowled since this yet. I'm thinking about getting out there and doing it though. I'm not
There you go.
afraid.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
go do it.
Well, I tell
Uh,
you what, Tommy, your dad, I hope, I pray that I am as good as your dad is now at 76. My God, that's amazing.
he's gonna be 82.
Oh my God. I
Gee,
just, oh
yeah,
my God. Oh my God.
yeah, he's gonna be 82 in November,
See,
brother.
that's
Yeah,
amazing. Hey,
yeah, and
he's still
I'm
as
so
tough as
proud
me.
of him,
You bet.
and he does a great job, and I want him to continue to be in the PBA and do
Yeah.
his thing
Yeah.
and
He
have
loves it.
fun with it.
You bet. He loves it.
He needs to do it. He
Yeah.
needs to do it. I agree. So what an amazing story and an amazing life. I'm just so thrilled for you, Mike, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you visiting with me. We're at our 30-minute mark. It
Okay.
kind of goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
Um,
Yeah.
it does. But I'm going to kind of wrap it up here.
Okay.
But thank you again so much. But let me wrap it up. And
Tommy,
if
it
you
was my
like hearing
pleasure.
uplifting stories of overcoming challenges in life, click the like and subscribe button right up there. Perhaps you have a story of your own to share: an accident, sudden loss, PTSD, alcohol, drug abuse, a natural disaster, illness, and you would like to share that journey of overcoming, please contact me at the email shown right below for consideration for a future podcast interview. I rely on viewers like you to share their stories. That's where I get this. It's amazing the network and the outpouring that I've gotten from these stories. It really touches the heart. Thanks again to Marketplace.live for their continued sponsorship to bring these great stories to all of us. Marketplace.live, find what you want and get what you need. I want to thank everyone out there, especially my family, our military veterans, and first responders who put their lives on the line every day. And we can't forget our teachers and medical professionals who all make the world better one person at a time. But most of all, thank God for all the blessings in our world. We just need to make sure that we concentrate on them every single day. Until next time, carpe diem, my friends. Seize the day. Bye bye, Mike.
So